What's up, guys? So I had to put my dog away and stuff, but I have some BBs and I shimmed the heaviest spring that I have from the paintball marker kit, and I'm gonna try shooting it right now and seeing what type of readings I get. So I'll be right back. So yeah, I put 2 of these underneath the spring where it fits into the hammer, and it pretty much, with 2 of those BBs, that spring is about the same length as the stock spring, because this spring that's in here right now is like kind of short. So I'll be right back. All right, first shot will have nothing because there's no ammo in there, and then it'll load one. So hopefully I don't end up with just BBs inside my A5 floating around in there. I've never tried this before, so I don't know what's gonna happen. All right, 388, 384, 390. So that's pretty good. That's almost at 27. So yeah, I'm gonna eventually take this apart, put the stock valve spring back in here, and then I'll see what type of numbers I get, if they're comparable to, you know, upper 380s or 390, and if they are not, then I know that the lightened valve spring is actually better than the stock valve spring, and going from there, I could get a bolt. I could put more BBs to try to shim the spring a little bit more, because just by adding 2 BBs I got like 10 FPS, or almost 16 feet per second higher. And then, other than a bolt that may or may not fit this correctly, or the $55 hammer, I can get a couple springs off of like Amazon, and I'll see what those do. So I'll show you guys what I did to make this bump up about 16 feet per second, just by using two 4.5 millimeter BBs, which is like the BBs I use in my BB guns and stuff. So this spring, luckily it's almost the same size as the BBs, and the spring is 5 millimeters, or like 3/16. So here is, I'm trying to do this with one hand. Here's the back of the A5. I opened up, I took off the stock. See that black thing right there? The spring fits inside of that. So I can remove that black thing. I don't know what it's called. There's probably a name for it. I don't know what the name is, but take that out really quick if I can. There you go. It's always falling out really easily, and then when I want it to come out, it doesn't want to come out. So here's that little piece, and the spring goes inside of it like this. So there's a good amount of spring in there. Let's see. So the spring's in there all the way, and there's about that much spring inside of it. And this is the heaviest spring from my spring kit. And since I know that diameter is 5 millimeters, and I know that BBs are 4.5 millimeters, half a millimeter, like, honestly isn't that much. Like, it's a very small amount of space, or like measurement. So here is my the dark gray one is my stock spring that was in the A5 when I bought it, and it was used, like a used A5. And then these are the little BBs, and before I stuck it in there, I made sure that the BBs didn't go into the spring, and they don't feed into the spring. So here's some BBs, here's the spring. Sorry it's all fuzzy, but I don't know how to do this, so I guess I'll just do this. All right, so here's a BB, here's the spring, and it's not it's not like going over the BB, so I know that the BB is not going to get stuck inside of the spring. If I had like a 6mm spring, or if it was like 7 or something, then I wouldn't be able to do this way. But all I'm doing is putting 2 BBs in here. Well, I'll show you how I came up with 2. So I can add a third one, I think, and it will probably still function. So there's 1 BB. So here's end to end right here, and here's 1 BB, and here's 2 BBs. And I mean, it's just kind of rough estimate, but with the 2 BBs added on, it's just as long as the stock spring. So I could probably add a third or fourth one, because now that I looked at how far in this spring actually goes into this little guide, like it's that much spring that's inside of here. So I could put like 5 BBs in this and see what that does. So I probably will. I'll probably just do that right now. I'll throw 5 BBs in this little spring, I don't know, spring guide, hammer spring guide, I guess is what it is. And yeah, I'm gonna do that right now, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, there's 5 BBs in here now, and the spring goes in here that much. So I could still add more, but I don't want to add too much, because then if there's some random recoil, this will come misaligned, and then I'll have problems. So right now there's 5 in here. I'm gonna air it up and then start shooting. All right, you guys, I took the BBs and stuff out. 5 was too much, and then I tried 4, and 4 was too much, and then I tried 3, and 3 was too much. I wasn't able to close this, so pretty sure the most I'll be able to do is 2 BBs, because there still needs to be enough space for the spring to compress down and fit inside of this buttstock. So what I'm gonna do is, since I have the lightened valve spring in there right now, I put the normal main spring back in there, the stock one, and with my old valve spring and the stock A5 drive spring, I was getting like 338, 336 with CO2. So I'm gonna see if I have any kind of improvement at all with the lightened valve spring and the stock drive spring. So the spring right here is the original A5 spring that came with this A5, and then this valve spring is that lightened one that I switched out yesterday. I never tried this on CO2 to see if my lightened valve spring is allowing for more air to pass through, which is what it's supposed to do. So it'll have a little bit more air pushing it out the front of the barrel. So here goes nothing. And this is just the no shims, just the normal stock spring and the lightened valve spring. Okay, so yeah, it did do better. 352, 344. So my old highest was 338, but I was consistently getting like 332 or 336. 344. So yeah, it's helping it a little bit. Like I'm getting like 8 more feet per second, or about 6 more feet per second. 346. So I'm probably gonna leave that valve spring in there. I feel like because the HPA tank that I have, it's not like 1100 psi. I feel like that's probably why my numbers decreased overall, because when I used my stock everything and the lightened valve spring with my HPA tank, I was expecting it to hit like a little bit higher than what it did before with stock here and stock here. And when I had stock here on the HPA, it was hitting like 326 or 322 all the time. When I had lightened valve spring and stock mainspring plus HPA tank, it was doing like 306 or 310. So I don't know why that is. It just, I don't know. It's just probably because the HPA is just underpowered compared to the CO2. But yeah, I'm not like an expert at pressures and like what causes this to do what and all that stuff. So anyways, see you guys on the next video, and have a good one.